Have you been offered a lump sum option with your pension? Buyer beware. It's time to get real honest about those lump sum offers. The first question we get is, which is financially better, the lump sum or the annuity payment? Guys, they're the same. By very definition, that lump sum is calculated by actuaries and is meant to be the value today of all of those future payments. To be sure, there is a whole lot of swag built into that calculation, not the least of which is your mortality date. You have a leg up on every advisor out there in that you know your health, you know your personal history, you know your spouse's health, and you know your family's longevity. Ask yourself if you are on the healthy or unhealthy side of the spectrum. If you're on the unhealthy side, you may want to consider the lump sum. Pensions typically die with you or your spouse, but if there's a lump sum and there's money left over at the end of your life, that can then be transferred to your heirs. You would have more control over your retirement. You could roll it to an IRA. You can have more control over the investments, how much money you take, when you take it, which gives you a little bit more control over the taxation of your retirement. Yeah, there's a lot of advantages to taking a lump sum. But that leads us to our next question. If you do take the lump sum, how are you going to manage it? Are you capable of managing an investment portfolio and then turning it into a paycheck? I see advisors all the time show illustrations of a lump sum being invested and earning 8% a year. That is easier said than done, particularly for a risk-adverse couple in retirement in a volatile market. Do you have an investment strategy to back up that projected return? I also see a lot of do-it-yourselfers who are thinking not necessarily long-term. Yes, you may be completely capable of managing your assets, but what happens to you if something happens to you? What about your spouse? Are they capable or are they even interested in managing money? Or do you have a trusted advisor that can take care of it for you? Because, yeah, it may be fun when you're in your 60s, but what about when you're 90? One of the greatest advantages of annuitizing that payment is that somebody else takes care of it for you. They manage the investments, they send you a paycheck, and you don't have to worry about it because it's guaranteed. Maybe. Have you evaluated the financial stability of your employer? Can they meet these obligations? What is the funded status of the pension? Has it been managed well up to this point? These are all questions that you need to ask yourself. And I have coached dozens of couples through this pension decision process. And I typically fall back on one of the greatest risk mitigation tools we have in finance, diversification. Let's take a look at everything else you have feeding your retirement. Are there any other guaranteed income streams? What kind of assets do you have? Are you already managing a big bucket of money? We have to evaluate what you and your spouse think you'll be capable of when you're 85 or 90. This is just as much an emotional decision as it is a financial decision. If you need help evaluating your pension options, give us a call or book an appointment. As certified financial planners, we're paid for our advice, and we're looking at so much more than just how would we manage a lump sum or how would we manage your investments. We're looking at all of the pension options available to you. And just as many times as we've recommended the lump sum, we've recommended taking the annuity payment because every single situation is different. That's it for this week. This is Jeannie Fisher, the 401k Lady.